So I made a wooden katana. So first things first, a draft is very important, a plan. So I drew the katana with its measurements and the different designs for it. As you can see, I drew the handle. It's not the final designs, so later on you can see that I made some few changes. And here, as you can see, I just drew some different perspectives on the blade, the top view, side view, and isometric view. Now here are the different tools I'll be using. So I started with the lumber. Now I want to emphasize that it's important to get the measurements right and accurate. So in here you'll notice I used a squala to get a straight, perfect line. So this lumber will be used for the blade and this one for the handle. Now remember, safety first, especially handling power tools like this, a grinder. You should wear your gloves or your PPEs to avoid accidents. So here I'll be using the grinder to outline the blade. So the outline will be a guide for me to cut off the edges. And as you can see here, I am just slowly cutting off the edges from one piece to another so that I could have this curvature to make this katana look authentic. Now here you'll notice I used a different grinder for this part. It's a grinder with a sanding blade so I can create this smooth, sharp edge. So if you lack experience in handling power tools like this, it's important to have a supervisor or at least an assistant. Now you'll notice that the blade or the wood is now a lot cleaner. It's lost its dark color. It's now more of a lightish brown and it's gotten a lot smoother. Now that's all thanks to the grinder I have with the sanding blade. Now the cool thing about this grinder is that I can use it to chip off the wood. So I used it to curve the blade. I also used it to sharpen the blade. And I also used it to add some details or designs on the blade. Like I said a while ago, I was going to make an altercation on the designs. So here you can see this video game-esque kind of design, adding a few sharp edges, making it look fantasy-like. So yeah. So here I'm just making the details look a lot finer, a lot cleaner, and a lot smoother. Now in here I was working on the handle of the blade. I used glue, so it's a trick I learned from my dad. Apparently you can use glue on wood, so I used glue on wood, made it stick. Now you can see here in this part the glue has dried up, so now I can add these details. So I wanted to have this texture. I used barbecue sticks for this one. Now I wasn't able to record it, but I added a cross guard. So here you can see I added details on the cross guard, added a few designs, some grove. Now it looks pretty cool. Now in here I used a burned up chisel to write my name on the handle. And then I made a sheath for the blade. So with the use of paper, glue, and barbecue sticks, so it's pretty good. Now in here I was working on the stand for the katana and sheath. So took a while. I was just using a saw. I had no permission from my dad to use the grinder yet. So later on you'll see I'll be using a grinder. And here I was just cutting off some parts for the stand. So it's just a lot of grinding stuff going on in this part. So enjoy. Now here I used a power tool, a power drill actually, to create this hole on the wood, like a circle kind of. Now for the final part, baby, used a varnish to shine up the wood, shine up the blade, shine up everything. You can see my large biceps right there. I mean large wood right there. So just shining things up for the finishing touch for this katana. And that's it. Now that the varnish has dried up, this is what it looks like as a complete product. So this is with the blade, the sheath, and the stand.